Here we are, folks. Our plans for the year, as you can tell by the thumbnail, we're up to our eyeballs in battle mechs. We've quite a few between this year's advent calendar event and last year's advent calendar event, and then the Kickstarter. Most of this is from the Kickstarter as well. A lot of these are from the Kickstarter. Yeah, we've quite a collection here. We've quite a few. I've painted one or two mechs throughout the year. Not a lot. Most of the collection is grey, as you can see. But this is what we're going to be doing throughout the year. I'm going to be picking out mechs and creating units. Talk about the tactics that I would apply to said units, and then painting them up with paint schemes. And we'll talk about lore as well. So we'll go through individual mechs. We'll talk about lore. We'll talk about different variants for them, you know, between like your grasshoppers and you know, anything, man. There's Grendel's favorite of mine. Really nice sculpt here, the Nova Cats. That's a really sweet sculpt. So we're gonna go throughout the year. We're gonna make a few units. Like for tomorrow, I've got a game lined up with some friends, and already I've got a unit in mind. It's Civil War era, so I'm gonna be doing like King Crab, 2 grasshoppers, and an archer, and it'll use like C3 network. So the King Crab will have the C3 master, and then the other guys will have C3 slaves. But you know, talking about how to make units, there's going to be a lot of that. Talking about the tactics, how I find units play, what I like playing, why I play them the way that I play some units, and then, you know, going through and learning about some mechs, because, you know, I've been at Battletech a few years now, but I haven't played all of the mechs. It's not comprehensive, so it's a learning curve for me. It's teaching what I know, and then what I know from wargaming for Jesus, now 25 plus years I've been at wargaming. I've always liked Battletech, but I never really jumped into it. I always liked the rules, but it was kind of hard back in the day to get miniatures in Ireland, and some of the sculpts weren't great. But that's all changed with this whole new era of plastics that we have. I love the sculpts. Some of them are really good. Like I said, the Nova Cat's a cracking one. Direwolf's nice as well. If you get a decent direwolf, some of them can be askew with their arms, but you can reset that with a bit of water. The Atlas looks absolutely mint as well. Great mech. Got some absolutely cracking mechs. We've loads here. We've nearly got ourselves our Steiner scout squad. We've only got 3, but we'll see how it goes. We've a good few Banshees as well, but we'll be playing throughout the different eras. Succession Wars, clan eras. Like I said, the game I'm going to be playing tomorrow with some of my mates who are veterans of the game. You know, we'd be playing the Civil War era or Jihad or Dark Age. You know, nice mixed bag. Some nice Orbeez. Got a few of them knocking around. But we're going to be going throughout the year. This is what we're going to be attacking. This bucket of Battletech. Throughout the channel, we're going to be focusing on our forces composition, a bit of lore, and a few other bits and pieces, you know yourself. What units I have, what colour schemes I've come up with. This is my tournament colours. This is one of the new Ironwind metal sculpts, so it's the new Thunderbolt, but this guy is actually in metal. So this is the colour scheme I came up for tournaments. The green, white and orange, the Irish colours, and the channel colours as well. You know, Plasticraic game and channel colours. This is what I like to run with. So I have a few colour schemes that I like to do. So there's this sort of tournament colour. I've got my sort of Black Hand Brigade mercenary unit, sort of greys. Got yourself sort of like German greys and the what is it, the Space Wolf grey, you know what I mean, those sort of greys. You've got those sort of colours, and then, you know, some just generic Op 4 units where it's just like US olive drab and a bit of gold or whatever. This would have been an old school miniature, one of the few old school sculpts that I own. The Trebuchet. This sculpt here, this was the very first mech I ever used back in the day. My very first game of Battletech was with this guy. And I remember very distinctly being introduced to the game because a friend had them on a shelf. I was like, oh, what's this game? Can we play that? And we gave it a bash. And I think I lasted 3 rounds with the trebuchet. And then I died to like an ammo explode to one of the LRM bins. And, you know, from that moment on, I knew this was a great game. I fell in love with Battletech. But like I said, back in the day, it wasn't easy to get a hold of mechs, especially decent sculpts. So it was a bit of a hindrance. But, you know, this new era of plastics, they have some absolutely smashing mechs. Some of the sculpts are absolutely beautiful. Like this boy over here. Some cracking mechs. There's only 1 or 2 sculpts I'm not a massive fan of. The Jenner being one. It seems a bit soft. I don't know what it is. Maybe my perception, because I play like MechWarrior 5 as well. I've been introduced to some of the mechs through MechWarrior 5, or I'm used to looking at them from there. Like the new trebuchet, it's alright. I'm not a massive fan of it. But some of the other mechs, like the sculpts that I've come up with, have been crazy. I suppose, yeah, they're the, you know, Centurion. It's not a bad sculpt, but it's not exactly the strongest. I actually prefer, if you can get your hands on a 3D print, I prefer the sort of the 3D print versions of them, the aesthetic from the video games. It's a bit more substantial in the chest area, but yeah, it's there's some absolutely cracking sculpts, like the Crusader. Look at the Crusader, man. Look at this mech. Look at the sculpt for that. That's just class. How could you not like that? So we've loads of awesome mechs. Like even the ones that aren't great sculpts in my eyes, they're still mint. They're easy to get our hands on now. The game's accessible. You know what I mean? You can actually see it in stores. You can get your hands on it. The community's growing. We've got a good community growing here in Dublin. And now there's a great scene down in Limerick that Gary Jackson's been running out of the Gathering store down there. Absolutely cracking scene. It's great to see the player base grow. It's great to see new people get into it as well. And joining into the tournaments. It's been fun playing in Battletech tournaments. The community is very positive. I like that about it as well. The Battletech community. It's a very positive community. Very positive experience. I've really enjoyed playing in tournaments as well. Some absolutely smashing mechs. So that's what we're going to be doing. We're going to be going through, building forces, painting them up, and looking at lore, looking at mechs, unit composition. You know, we've plenty of rule books to be going through, and then it all depends. Like, what do you guys want to see? What do you have specific units you'd like to see done up? Are there specific units you want to see painted up on the channel? We'll be using a combination of sort of traditional, just acrylics, you know, base, wash, highlights. But we'll also try some of the speed paints or the contrasts. So we'll be doing a few different painting techniques. And just enjoying it. And just enjoying the hobby, yeah. I really am. I'm absolutely loving. I'm loving the new sculpts, but I'm loving the gameplay and I'm loving the community for Battletech. It's, you know, it's really rekindled my hobby for me. I hadn't realised beforehand that it's such an important part of my enjoying the game and playing the game. I didn't realise how much of hobby inspiration it gets me going, enjoying the game itself. It wasn't until I started enjoying playing Battletech, because I do love playing the game. It's a great rule set. There's so much to it, like, and you know, it's catered for that you can make the game what you want it to with the rule set that there is, like, you know what I mean? It's that sort of mentality. You're not restricted in what you want to play. There's a lot of optional rules. There's more than one way to play the game. You can play Alpha Strike if you're into that sort of thing. We can talk about Alpha Strike as well. I tend to like a classic myself. That's Kingfisher. Look at the Kingfisher, man. Look at that mick. I tend to like the classic Battletech myself. That's the one I prefer to play if I'm given a choice. But I'll play Alpha Strike as well, so we'll have Alpha Strike games going. That's not an issue. We have a bit of Alpha Strike. Look at the mountain of Mad Cats we have here. Absolute mountain of them. Got about 8. Stalker, another great mix. Loads of great mix. And there's loads more coming out too. We're going to have more box sets coming out, more new mix coming out. Stalker, cracking mech. Absolutely cracking mech. Vindicator, new beginner box set. Second beginner box set we've had. Nice sculpt, lovely sculpt. And this is what we're going to be doing. We're going to be having a look. We're going to be painting. And we're going to be enjoying Battletech. So if you know, that sounds like your cup of tea, something you're interested in, feel free to join in and follow along. If you're in Ireland, we've got a group going. On Facebook, there's Battletech Ireland, myself and a few friends. It's to try and promote people playing the game and get games organised in the local areas. And we have Battletech Ireland Discord as well, so if you want to jump on there, check out what people are up to game-wise, hobby-wise, and try and see if there's local players in your area, because we're finding that's happening quite a lot, as people don't realise there are actually players in their local area looking to get a game. So pop in, say hello. We'll have a link in the description below for the Discord, and you can check it out. So that's it for now. We'll crack on with the projects as the year goes on, and we'll catch you later. Take it easy, guys.